everybody, happy Friday. This is Overpass Live. My name is Eric and I make apps. This is the weekly live stream where we just talk about whatever we want to talk about, or we look at other people's apps, we look at each other's apps, we just chat about stuff. And okay, last week you guys all went like really high with the thumbs down and then went really back, and you completely freaked me out. Don't do that again this week, because it was like, oh my God, I'm just like sweating. Although I know you guys probably do it anyway. But anyway, so this is our weekly live stream. We have nothing scheduled, nothing to talk about, just chat, right? So I've been thinking every week. I need to get some guests on. We need to have more guests and stuff on the channel. But it's kind of nice just to hang out and really be completely 100% reactive, not knowing what we're going to talk about. Because I do a lot of consultancy and stuff like that, looking at other people's apps, and a lot of times it's interesting just being able to look at things and where things are going to go. But that's cool. So anyway, this week I did quite a bit of work on Xamarin. I did quite a bit of work on Firestore, which I'll talk about a little bit. I've done work on a bunch of client meetings, and it was a holiday on Monday, but for me that was a day that I could actually work on some code, which was just, I've been working on code when I'm working for this contract and everything too, but it was like the code I wanted to work on, which was kind of fun. So let's just say hey to everybody. Let's see, we got MD is here. Eric, do you think the Admob ad ranks higher than apps without ads? No, I don't. I don't think that they would. I think they would if you have so many ads that you have bad reviews or bad ratings. How often should one update an app, and does it updating help with ranking? I believe it does help with ranking. Yeah, you should update it regularly. First of all, you need to update the libraries on your Admob or whatever. Plus, how many times have you been downloading an app and you look to see when it was last updated? You do, don't you? You just check to see if it is. Because if your app has been updated in the last day and there's some bad reviews on there, for me, I'm always thinking, well, maybe they fixed that now. So it's like, that constant thing. I think in terms of the algorithm, I'm not sure, but I think it does. I've done it. One last question: have you integrated Admob with Firebase? Is there a good reason for doing that? I've only done it for Firebase Analytics, and I didn't really see much benefit out of it. Let's see, Matthew, 2 dislikes and the video isn't even started. I know that's the kind of magnetism I have, man. I get I get all the likes, all the dislikes in there. Get your dislikes in early, because you might start to like me after a while. Hey Eric, hey Eric, how are you? I'm good. I'm good. I'm fine. Everything's going well. Although today's it's a beautiful day here in England, and it's very warm. And I had to close the windows because I live on a busy intersection, and there's always sirens and stuff going by. So if I start to sweat, it's not because of nerves. It's well, maybe a little bit. Mr. Secret. Hey, Mr. Secret. Hi, my name is Jarl. Dude, Mr. Secret, the last thing you want to do is tell your name straight out. Come on. My name is Yari. For last year of high school, I have to make an application, but do you have some tips on what I can make more people see my application in the Google Play Store? Thanks. It depends on what the application is going to be. You have to think about your target audience, what would they be looking for. It's like saying, how can I make a movie that more people will go see? It's like, well, at some point you have to start with the basis of something. Is it what kind of application are you making? Who does it appeal to? What kind of keywords can you talk? It's like it's like saying, I want to create a blockbuster movie. What should I make? And it's like, well, that's like, there's so many things, it's or you could say, I'll just make another Avengers and go do like a low budget version of Avengers, which would suck because it's and there's already one of those out there. But Mr. Secret, I'm not sure. Rithel Raj, hi sir, hey, how's it going, Rithel? Hope you're doing good. I'm doing all right. I have a build knowledge sharing app. It is a social media app. Oh, that's right, Rithel. You've been putting on several of the videos. Have you been putting I have a social media app and that was it? I have a social media app, and my doubt is how to bring users to the app. Currently has no contents posts. How to get started? That's the hard thing with any kind of application where you have two groups of people that need to converge. I mean, well, a social media app, you have lots of people to try to converge. I mean, you have one user type, but like if I go onto a social media app and I see the nearest person is in 1,000 miles away, or a dating app, or a whatever, an Uber type app, it's not gonna work. So I think you're gonna have to get people in there somehow. And what I would do, I mean, one option you could do is to put some really good content on there, and then start sharing that on social media. So let's say you had something that was viral. I mean, make something viral is easier said than done. But let's say you had something on there like was a really good image that people would share, and you put that onto like Facebook, and then people did share it, but it said available on such and such app. Then maybe you could get people going into it, because that's the kind of stuff that they have. But then you need to have that. I mean, it's almost like to start a social media app, I think you need to have some sort of advertising push to get people into it, because you need like a bunch of people to go on there at one time. They can't drip feed in like with other applications. Let's see, Mr. Beast, I love your videos. They're amazing. I have 30 million subs on YouTube. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm sure that's you. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the bots love my channel. The bots. Yeah. Hey, can we be YouTube friends? Is always the first comment I get after doing a video. Ayush Pi Apps, hey, how'd your week go? It went well. Okay, I wanted to talk a little bit about, we'll talk about it again, Firestore and Flutter. So it's this last week, it was Saturday morning. I thought, okay, I'm just going to write off my Saturday, and I'm just going to sit down, I'm going to code a Firebase app. It was for a client, and I thought, yeah, I want to do this in Flutter with Firestore, because then we can just get it up and running. I don't want to give it to another developer and have them say, oh yeah, accidentally, whatever. I just want to think this would be good for me to get into. And once I started going, I had compile times of like over 10 minutes. And there's something wrong with the Firestore on Mac OS, with the Firestore pod on iOS, on Mac OS, that it's just taking forever. I don't know if it's something on my machine, but I found a whole lot of people complaining about it online. It was so weird. So like 2 days, it was like something that should have taken me less than an hour, and it was 2 days troubleshooting it, trying to figure out, okay, let me go into this setting, let me rebuild all my pod file, let me do all this kind of stuff, let me check the settings here. You know what it's like. You're following this thing around. In the end, I just finally it was Monday morning, which is a holiday, and I thought I'd just do it again in Xamarin, which actually was surprisingly easy. And there's very few tutorials out there. There's a couple good ones, but very few on Xamarin and Firebase, because it's like two different. If you're either a Microsoft guy or a Google guy, and it's kind of cool to see the way those work. There are libraries out there for it, but that was the way my week started. Bart Rocca, happy Friday, Alpha Coders. We're Alpha Coders. What's up? You know what I like to do? I like to go to beta coders on the beach and kick sand in their face. I like to belittle them. This is my one chance in life I get to be the bully. But hey, Bart, thanks for that email earlier this week. I was like, every time I get an email from you, I think, God, I need to do something. So next week I do have a person starting. And I think one of the first things we're going to do is ear spy for iOS and get that thing whipped into shape. And I take your and all the stuff you said about the designers and everything. James, 10 likes. It hasn't even started. Take the good with the bad. Oh yeah, is this all before we started? Leandro Damascano. Hey, to Eric. Oh, yo Eric. Yo Leandro. Apavelli, hey, happy Friday. Have you migrated your apps to Android X? Dude, I haven't done. No, I haven't. Because a lot of them are. I still have a bunch of the Corona ones. I haven't done it yet. But so when do we have to have that done by? Maybe some music for the thumbs down. Yeah, maybe I'll get some new music. Could we build, let's see, Ahmed Mohammed says, can we build mobile apps by Angular? I can't think of one way to build a mobile application with Angular. If only there was some sort of framework. If only there was some way to build an Angular application and compile it into a mobile application. Oh, dude, got me. If any of you guys can figure it out, then Ionic, then just put it in the comments. But yeah, Ahmed, you probably you can. I'm only playing with you. Let's see. MD says, if you want to invite guests, she'd better be good looking. Do you think that's what it should be? That would be like oh yeah, come on my channel. Oh, but I'm not an app developer. Don't worry, it's fine. And it would be just like, yeah, that will work out. Let's see. Matthew Creek says, my CPC has bipolar disorder. I've not even checked. I know that my Admob this week, my Admob has fallen to like a new low. I think yesterday it was like I made 16 pounds off of it. It's just like, which, I think so one of the things this week we had a new person start on the team, which is the first time I'm starting to go on the offense, dude. Right? So bring some more people on, and I've got a developer starting next week. He's actually he's on the live stream a lot. He might show up today, but he's going to be starting with the team on Monday too. And so we'll be doing hopefully go back on the offense. I'm tired of playing defense. Somebody pointed out to me that. They said, I was watching some of your videos and I saw your first video of the year where it was like, Action Eric, 2020 is going to be the best year ever. And it's funny to look at it in retrospect because of everything. We all got kicked in the teeth by the well, I mean, some people are thriving from it, I guess. But we all got, we've all got kicked in the teeth with the pandemic, and we're all still going through it, and who knows what's going to happen. And while things don't seem to be going too bad, I was talking to somebody yesterday. They're talking about what it's scary because we don't know when everything goes back to normal and the government stops paying. Oh no, it was today. I spoke to somebody. We don't know what's going to happen when the government stops supporting the economy. When the stimulus stops, then everything, will it deflate or will lots of people lose their jobs or whatever? But all we could really do is make apps. So we should keep doing that. Rocky Roy says, Eric, did you get your Google developer account back after suspended? Yeah, I did. It was like a few days later. So, however, so if you get your account suspended, and I hope it never happens to any of you guys, but it was just such a stupid reason. However, it was kind of one of those, like, you think it's like having a car. Actually, should I say that? Like, you always wonder what it would be like to get into like a bad car accident. Like, it's just one of those things you think, is my time coming? Is it just something that's inevitable is going to happen? Because I know so many people who've been into car accidents. That is it just something that's going to happen, or am I going to get by with it never happening? And when I got the account suspended, because I spoke to so many developers who've been suspended, their entire account suspended, and really trying to get it back, that it it was kind of like when it came, it was like. Oh. But no, it was really, I felt so good to get it back. I mean, it was, however, it's still ticking along. It's, I need to really do it. Matthew Creek says, Admob keeps spiking and plummeting. Yeah, these are weird times. Phil J, hey Eric and everybody. Hey Phil, how's it going? I hope you're having a nice Friday. Super weather here in the UK. Yeah, it is. It's really nice. I mean, this is, it could be that I'm, that I've been in England for so long, but that I don't realize it. But let's see, community, Mr. Beast, what are you doing here? Yeah, dude, what are you doing here? Let's see, hey, community, dude, how's it going? Mr. Ithio Tutorial, hey, how's it going? I make app to check it out, Mazarap. I'm just going to see if I can find it first before I do it. So, is it MS Ethio Tutorial or is it Ms. Ethio Tutorial? Let's see. How do you say it? Okay. Let's see if I can find it first. Yeah. If you have like the app name, MS Ethio, let me have it. So yeah, it really, after like so long wanted to work on the Flutter application and do it with Firestore and everything, and actually said, all right, this time I'm just gonna knock it out. In fact, part of me was thinking, I'm gonna show those developers how quickly this can be done. And then 2 days later, I can't even connect to this. I could connect to the database, but the compile times were just so slow that in the end, I just ended up rewriting it in Xamarin, which, Ty Vaughn, hey Ty, how's it going? What online app development course do you recommend to a very, very new beginners? I think it's been a long time since I've been a beginner, but like a lot of ones were like Flutter. I think Flutter has a really good, just their help pages, like the getting started bit, that works really well. Of course, they talk about the Firestore API and all this third-party libraries and everything. But I can't think of anything that really stands out because it's been such a long time since I've done one. If anybody else knows one, please go ahead and put it in the comments, because I'm sure that would be, I'm sure lots of people would like to see that who are just starting out. But I think the biggest thing you could do is just start tinkering with the code. For me, I always worked from a book, and I'm so old that I was coding writing the code, copying it from the book and everything. Now I can just copy paste it. I don't know if you get the same effect. Okay. Matthew, if a programmer to rob a bank, what would that be clearing the cache? Nice one. See, let's see, Rocky, what did you get? Yeah, I did get it back. Shivam Penny. Hey, Shivam, how's it going? Hey, Eric, what's your view on MacBook Pro 16 i7 base model? Want to switch from MB Air 2015 128 gigabyte? Dude, I am rocking the 2013 steam powered MacBook. I keep looking at MacBooks, or actually, I'm thinking I'm going to get an iMac because I don't know why. I think you see so many people with iMacs, I think I'm just tired of opening something. It's getting to the point now where it's so frustrating, especially when the heat, like when you get a warm afternoon, you're just working on something, and then you're just compiling it, and for whatever reason, it just decides to, right? And I think this MacBook is on its last legs, and it's one of these things where I need to, maybe that's the excuse I need to upgrade it. But I haven't tried anything new, and one of the reasons why I was put off by the new MacBooks was when they went to the USB-C ports and everything like that, because I have so many USB ports going in. So I haven't tried it. In fact, for those of you guys who are on, for those of you guys who are on Macs, and by the way, I am not a Mac fan. I am not a Mac fan, right? Because Mac fans are noisy, according to mine. But no, I'm not a Mac. It's just I do it for iPhone development, and I've kind of gotten used to it. And once you get into the whole control instead of command, or command instead of control, and vice versa, swapped around, it's really difficult to swap between the two of them. John Connor fought to keep us free from bots, and you're friends, and you're friends with them. That's right. The bots love me. The bots are, same time again with Steve. I know, Steve, he's got a good, this is, all right, so Rohit, to be honest with you, I was thinking, should I move my time of my live stream or whatever, or is it like, why, but, he's got a guest over there, and everything, so, it's, and somebody was saying to me, a lot of people will watch both, like, you might watch this later on, or watch that one later on, whatever. It doesn't, it's not like there's ratings or anything. I'm just going to keep doing what I do, and and not let it affect me, I guess. But I think it's I do that. So Sarathi says, how's it going your Xamarin development? It's going all right. It's my big thing at the moment is I keep switching between IDEs. I go from Visual Studio for Mac to Writer, which is a JetBrains tool. I like Writer because I use WebStorm, I use IntelliJ or Android Studio, and a lot of the keyboard mappings are the same, a lot of the same stuff. So I like having that consistency going from one tool to another, and Writer does it really well. However, and this is really nerding out on you, Visual Studio has the Xamarin Hot Reload it works all the time, and Writer just has a huge bug in it. I mean, it just doesn't reload. And I've created a support ticket, and they're like, oh, we never heard of that. I go, dude, your guys' website, lots of people complaining about it. Like, oh, can you send us stack trays? Can you send us all this stuff? It's like, quit pretending like you don't know what this is. And that's one of the things. So now I'm just thinking I might just go with Visual Studio, but it's, because they do have a ReSharper / Writer keyboard mapping, so that did kind of solve some of those problems. But it's going okay. It's going well. Thanks for asking. Blastidilus says, India versus Philippines developers, costs and skills. It's difficult to say, because a lot of times I will say, oh, I gave it to an Indian company and they messed it up or whatever, which is like, it is like, I have to stop myself from saying it, because there's nothing about being an Indian developer versus an American developer versus an English developer versus a Filipino developer that, there are good developers everywhere. And it's just, we have these, I think because there are so many Indian development companies, and a lot of people have had bad experiences, but I've had a lot of really good experiences too. So it's, and it's, I really hate making those kind of comparisons. In terms of cost, though, a lot of times I work with development companies in India. There's been a time where I was paying $10 an hour or something, which is pretty low. And then they would contact me offline, when they're out of the office, and say, ask how much I was paying, because they're only making like $2 or $1 or something like that. And it was like, so a lot of times if you go through a company, that's why it makes it more expensive. Whereas if you hire somebody directly, it'll be a lot less expensive, and then they get the proceeds of that. Because, I don't really care about the development company, their marketing efforts or whatever. I mean, but it's kind of, that's how things go. It's how business runs. So, how's that for just blathering on? It's what I do, man. It's what I do. React Native developers in the building. Yo, what's up? Sarathi says, which app are you developing now, and what is the technology? So I'm still doing a bunch of client work. It's kind of these, there's more stuff coming. I can't really talk about it. I mean, there's nothing earth-shattering about a lot of stuff. I mean, it's cool. Like, and it's one of the reasons I don't like to talk about. First of all, is because I might be under NDA. I can't remember. And it's also, it's not just me working on it. Like, it's just like, if I was saying, hey, go download this application, you looked at it and go, wow, Eric, you're really talented. I go, yeah, but that's the designer, and that's the guy who came up with the idea, and that's all this kind of stuff. So when you're just, there's certain jobs where I'm just a cog in the machine, and there's certain ones where it's mine, and the ones that are mine are the ones that are on the App Store and the Play Store, and I need to get back into doing those a bit more. Chord Funk, yo Chord Funk, hey, how's it going? Yo Eric, yo Chord Funk. Been thinking about moving out of the app market. Any thoughts? I think a lot of us think about doing that. I don't know if you have to actually move out. That's the thing about the app markets. Just keep paying your Apple thing every year, or whatever. But it is getting more and more difficult. I mean, it's the fact that we have so many suspensions. I mean, it does feel like, and maybe it's just because I had the suspension earlier this year. I've had my biggest app suspended and then put back, and then suspended again and put back. That in some ways you almost feel like a battered. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. You feel like you've been in an abusive relationship, right? Where you walking on eggshells when you're releasing an app to the Play Store or to the App Store, right? You're thinking, I hope this goes through, right? And you're just kind of like thinking, oh, let me play small, because if the apps, if I try to achieve too much with this application, maybe they'll have some sort of issue with it. But I totally understand that. But it was like, what is the alternative? And there's a lot of things with the App Store still has the easy payment methods. You don't have to reach into your wallet and take out a credit card and everything like that. Although, there's a lot of platforms out there that do have that now too. And everybody, hey, thanks everybody for smashing the like button, hitting the like button, liking. Thanks for liking. Let's see, I did it before, but it's easy. Cool. Rizwan Ada. Hey, Eric, aloha, aloha. Every time you say aloha, I try to think of other Hawaiian words I know, and the only one I can think of is mahalo, because I lived in Hawaii for 3 years, and it's no, I can't remember. Anyone looking forward to the Apple Developer Conference? You know what? It's not really. I mean, is it going to be? It's going to be online, isn't it? Like Google I/O. I haven't been looking forward to it, but when is it? Yeah. Normally I do, but it's something about seeing the crowds there and everything. Mr. Secret, which is really named. Well, we won't tell everyone your name because it's secret. So if I understand it right, you have to place your ASO keywords in your title and description. I'm making a shopping list application as an integrated task. I would like to be able to be a professional. Mr. Secret, it's when we say to put ASO keywords in your title, I mean basically what you're doing is you're thinking about what people are searching for. Like, what are they searching for, and how will they find it, and how many other things are there that are in your way from them actually finding your application, right? It's the ASO, it stands for App Store Optimization. You're optimizing the App Store so that you can be found when people are looking for you, right? And that affects the ranking. So if somebody's going to be searching for my language games, the Chinese learning game, for example, then I want to be able to target that. I want to be able to target somebody looking for that. Now, it could be that there are way too much competition there, which there is. So then I start thinking about other things. Maybe it could be, maybe instead of Chinese, I could use Mandarin, or maybe I can use, China language, or maybe I could use something else and just play around with those things a little bit more. And maybe instead of learning, I could do studying, or I could do revising, or I could do whatever. And I'm starting to think of other ways that people could get into that. And if you're starting so if you have a shopping list application, then you could have a name that has a bit of sex appeal. Rather, you don't want your name to be all keywords, because that's going to be it's going to be lame. Like, you don't want to be. It's going to look like the generic version of it. It's going to be like when you would go. Again, I'm trying to make a childhood analogy that we all know, but I'm way older than a lot of you guys. But I would say, like, when I was a kid and G.I. Joe was the thing that you're into, and then your mom goes and she gets the one saying, army action person, right, or whatever, right? And it's like, and you get that for Christmas. You're like, that's not the right one, right? Those keywords were targeting the moms that were going in and all that stuff. So you want to have like a good name, but then you also want to think about the keywords and being found. If that makes sense. Let's see. Some days it's like 10 cents, and other days it's like 50 cents. Is that like the total for all the impressions, or is that per? Like. Mega Man last. I don't think so. Let's see. Bart Rocket says, I read the App Annie report again the other day for 2020. I'd love to hear their perspective now. Yeah. App Annie, it's always when you read those reports, like they always talk about, by the year 2022, it's going to be 8 kajillion advertising dollars spent, which, by their projection. But yeah, everything's been kind of a bit weird. Although, I mean, okay, here's something to think about. As app developers, we we were in this space a long time before a lot of the clients, most all the clients that are coming through, that were working just fine with brick and mortar. Now they're starting to think, well, now what do we do? And we've kind of been in this space for ages. I mean, I've seen this a lot with. I know people who are like personal trainers or therapists or other things, and they all say the same thing. Oh no, we're moving online now and it's going great. But they're competing with like people who are way better at it. And a lot of people are complaining about universities because they're saying, like, I think Cambridge is going to go to completely online courses next semester, and the students are saying, why are we still paying the same amount if it's all online? Because you're having something where people who are not used to doing stuff online are trying to do stuff online, whereas other people had already cornered that market. It's like when in the UK, when HMV tried to move into online music, and they were too late to the game. They're still a brick and mortar place. And I worry about like a lot of these people who are trying to move into it, where we should have had this. We as app developers, as technology people, should have had it cornered already. I don't know why. Just going back and looking at your question there, Bart. Like, yeah, I would love to see their perspective now too. Ravi Kumar Sharma says, "Hi Eric, because I like working on my apps, I cannot motivate myself to work in the office. I cannot leave my job right now. Any tips?" Dude, you have to do what you have to do, right? You have to, get through your job and then work on your apps in the evening or whatever. And what you want to do is, see, when Ravi, I was doing the same kind of thing. I was like, I had my own applications and I was working on it from 4 o'clock in the morning until 6, and I'd go for a run, and then I'd shower, and then go to and when I said I was working, I was talking with the developers and everything, and then I would go to this contract. So every morning was like get up, and then it was like go. Hey, we do this. Does anybody have any questions? I'm not going to be able to answer the questions when I'm working on this office. And it was like no, we don't have any questions. Then sure enough, 10 o'clock, that's where the question comes to, Eric, how is this supposed to work? It's like, dude, man, so you try to go out to the bathroom and trying to send this text off to, a Skype message off to the developers. Like, everyone thinks you got like bowel problems because you're spending, 10 minutes in the toilet just trying to, get somebody to understand what the concept is. It would have been so much easier if in the morning when you did it. And every morning was like, go. It's like, I gotta do this. Goes, I really want to get out for a run, but it's not as important as doing the app. And we do all this stuff, and it's go. I need to make sure everybody has something to work on before I go, right? And then you get in, I'm always running late, so I get see the kids off, eat something real quick, get some coffee, get in the car, and then I'm speeding down, whatever it was. I think it was like 30, 40 miles to the office that I was in, right? And I always get there a little bit late because, whatever, something would happen. Cosmic forces would make me late, and you're going in there, so you're rushing in there, you're sweating, you're all that stuff. You sit down at your desk, and then the whole pace of life slows down. And then it becomes, hey, we have a meeting at 10. Cool. Hey, how's it going with the other thing? It's going well, right? And you just, and then you're working on your own stuff, and that's when you're trying to squeeze everything into that short amount of time that you have, but you have to do it. Because then I would like finish the day, and again, my days would finish because even though the people worked a lot slower and you have all these conversations, it was still like a long day. I mean, I would still leave the office around 7 or 8 o'clock at night. I'd get home around 8 or 9, and then I'll be like, okay, now I have to do the screenshots for the apps, or now I have to do I want to do a social media post for this or whatever. And you're just sitting on the couch just doing that stuff, and you're just, it's tough, but you got to do what you got to do. Yeah, keep working on your apps. That's got to be the dessert, and working the job is the dinner. Tech Way Koo says, "Yo, Eric, do you add app ads.txt?" Yeah, I do. Yeah. This is what my life is like now. Okay, yeah. The other day, I woke up and I just checked the YouTube comments, and I see one from my app ads.txt says this was a useless video. Or the other in a few days earlier, I see a comment that just says, "You're an idiot." So I did a video on app ads.txt, and it's actually very simple to do. All you have to do is put it on a website at the root domain. Admob will give you the app ads.txt. You just copy it out, put it there, and do it. I don't know if it's helped me very much, but I figured if Admob wants it to happen, I'll do it. So yeah, I have. In fact, I mean, most of you guys should have done it. I mean, who out there has not done it? Let's see, Aiden Mac. Hey, Aiden, how's it going? Hey, Eric, what's your experience of advertising your app with Google AdWords? I tried it with pay per install, but I found that they also charge per click, even if the user didn't install. Yeah, that's kind of a sham, isn't it? I mean, because I kind of thought the same thing. If I'm doing pay per install, then why am I paying even if they click and don't install? And I think it makes sense that if they're going to be putting, like, if you have a stupid ad, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it makes sense that Google would charge something for even just displaying it. Otherwise, they would show your ad 2 or 3 times, and they would stop showing it and make room for somebody else's, because for whatever reason, people aren't making that final decision when they actually click on your app and go through. But yeah, I found the same thing. At first I thought, so when you got your cost per install, it's not so much how much you're paying for each install. It's more like an average of how much you're actually doing it. So it's all those clicks, based on the one ad. So if I have an ad and 20 people click on it and one person installs, then my cost per install would be the cost of those 20 clicks. But yeah, I have done that. I have done that before. I've done it quite a few times, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So basically, think about it. You look at those the user acquisition report. You see the people go into your Play Store page or your App Store page, and then seeing who's actually making the buying decision, and actually downloading it. Let's see. Ayush Pai says, I set the correct link for the image to ASCII app to your LinkedIn. Okay. Okay. I haven't checked my LinkedIn in a few days, Ayush. Let me just see if I can see it. I don't know why we can't find it on the... I mean, it'd probably better if you just emailed it to us. Because otherwise I have to troll through all the spam and everything on LinkedIn. Let's have a quick look. So let's see. Techway Koo says, I didn't know whether it's coincidence since the app ads.txt and my website Admob account revenue increased like 30% at least. Did it really? Let's see if I look. Ayush, it might be good to send it before the live stream, because for whatever reason, normally I could just search for something and find it. But then I have to, oh, here we go. All right, let's show desktop. Okay, this is Ayush's app, hopefully. Image to ASCII. All right, here we go. All right. Finally, after 3 weeks, we find the application. So, image ASCII. Okay, so you got 11 reviews. Here we go. There's a bit of a slow load time on my machine. Oh, okay, John Morris. Nice app. Fantastic. Crashes whenever I try to send. Are these all genuine ads, Ayush? I mean, genuine reviews? I'm sorry, I know it's kind of a rude question. I'm just asking. Let's see. All right, so let's have a look at so yeah. So I think this will be something you should have a lot more room up here in the title. Maybe not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I mean, you should have a bit more room up here if you need it. Convert any image to pure text. Upload the image. Crop image. Preview photo. Just pixel display. Okay. Now the question is, why can't we find this when we search for it? That's the weird one. And even last week when I was trying to find it, unless that's fixed. For some reason, my computer is really slowing down when I show this. Whether the rest of you guys want to give Ayush some feedback on that one. Let's see. Yeah, start with a low bid. Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah, actually, Matthew, that's a good idea. When you're doing AdSense, definitely start with a low bid. Just go with the lowest one. And if you're looking for, if the goal of the AdSense is to get the numbers up, like actually get some reviews in there, you could go for lower cost countries, and you'll get those. You'll have a much lower cost per click on there, which is another reason why when we have ads displayed in lower cost countries, and we don't get as much revenue. Mr. Secret says, can you give me some tips for my application in Google Play Store? My Google Play Store name is YDH Productions, and I want tips for my list. I don't really know what to do. All right, let's have a look. Oh, my computers. Oh, my computer's gonna die. It's gonna die. It's telling me, it's like, Eric, please. We've been through so much. We've been through the good times and the bad. Let's see. Ooh. All right, I'm just gonna show my screen here in a second. My list YDH Productions. Okay, here we go. It's not actually called My List though, is it? Let's have a look at the screen. So this is, we're looking at Mr. Secret's applications here. So it looks like you got a few of them on there. Am I like, let's see, so it's called My List, right? So you actually call that My Free, Easy to Use Shopping List to Go Cheap. Okay, so so the icon is called My List. It's funny why you said it was called My List. So we got 6 reviews, which is I get the reviews because that's the first thing that takes my eyes when I look at the reviews here. We got the video. Please do not be strummy guitar music.
Do you know that feeling when you're in a supermarket, but you forgot something? Well, with my list, you can easily add and delete products from your shopping list. And it's really easy to use. Download now for free.
You know what? I actually like the fact that you use your own voice. It was so refreshing that it wasn't like ching, 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 and then the app flies in and it goes back out from whatever template. So YDH, My List. Yeah, what I would say is, I mean, there's a few things you could do here. First of all, the title is a bit long, and I know it's, if it's called My List, I think if you called it My List, free, easy to use shopping list, would work. But you play around with that a little bit more, and then in terms of, and then the icon, it depends on how much is showing up, but personally, I think the icon looks a bit simple, but it's one of those kind of things where if we were to do, let's have a look at shopping lists. If we did a search for the others, just to see what your competition looks like. While that loads up. Another thing, did you notice when I put in the, okay, so we got grocery list, shopping list, so we got the trolleys, we got the lists, we've got the milk jug, we've got 2020, so we got quite a few on here. And I'll have just a bit of a softer look, but they'll have a bit of a softer look. Have a look, when we talk about the free ASO tools, a lot of time, excuse me, we'll talk about using Google, using the suggest on the Google Play keyword. Now, if I put in shopping list, one of the first ones that comes up is shopping list apps free UK. So people are searching for that for some reason. Or at least they are probably for me because I'm in the UK. But that's kind of stuff that when you are looking for keywords, a lot of times you just type in your seed keyword and see what else comes up because you can see what people are actually searching for. Let's see. Mark Puch says, "Hey Eric, what do you think about React Native? Did Flutter kill it?" Yeah, it's dead. It died like 2 years ago. No, I don't think it did. There's a lot of Flutter React developers still out there. Don't give me the thumbs down again. Let's not do that again. Yeah, there's a lot of React Native developers still out there. It depends on the ecosystem that you want to. So like if you have an application, there's a lot of really good stuff done in React Native. And there's, I don't think we're ever going to get to the situation where we have exactly one framework that everybody uses, right? It's going to be different stuff. Like the other day, so, like I said, I had trouble with Flutter the other day, so I went with Xamarin, right? When an obstacle gets in your way, you zag. You zig, you zag. Something, when something, messes up. So, let's see. Community Dude says, I have an app that when you finish the rewarded video, it will add 1 point to the user. I did that by taking the implementation at Admob you tell me to do, and it worked. Cool. And I put add 1 point. Oops, sorry, I'm a bit trouble with this thing. And I put add 1 point if rewarded video finished, blah blah blah. The problem was if he can decompile the app, haha, you have to put 2 or 5 points. Help. Yeah, I mean he could decompile. Well, if you could put that in like in the native part of the code, it depends on what language you're doing, but I wouldn't worry about that so much. I mean, how many people are going to know to decompile it, really? I mean, this is one of those kind of situations where if it was, and I hate I hate this excuse that how often would that actually happen? But for something like this, you know, there's going to be some people who are just able to get around the security, and if all that happens is they're not able to see a couple of ads, then it doesn't sound like it's going to be like all that bad. I mean, they'd have to decompile it, then recompile it, and actually, you know, and then you would, you know, release another version, and they would have like an outdated version, right? Let's see. The app's called Ethiopian Wallpapers and Others. Okay, here we go. So, MS. All right. Okay, Ethiopian Wallpapers. Oh, master apps. Okay, got it. Okay, cool. So let's have a look here. Show my desktop. So, master apps, Ethiopian Wallpapers. Here we go. Cool. All right, so I have never released a wallpaper application myself, and I'm always wondering about, I mean, for those, I know some of you guys out there all are wallpaper designers, and maybe even MS Ethio, you can help me with this, but how do you monetize a wallpaper application, right? How do you, like, 'cause you can only show ads, you know, you can't show ads that easily unless you actually put them on the images or something, but then you'd have to recompile the image each time. But I think it looks good. Ethio's apps, Culture City. I like the screenshots. I mean, I think it looks really slick and stylish. Yeah, I think it would be thinking about the Ethiopian wallpapers, and you know, how often would you get people to do it? Would you expect people who are just wallpaper browsers to be looking for it, or people who are looking for any kind of those types of things? Or like, is there any, like, what I mean is, like, are you specifically targeting people who are looking for Ethiopian stuff, or are you looking for people who are into wallpapers in general? Actually, that's stupid. I think you would be targeting people who would be learning the language or be interested in the culture, but would be my imagination there. Here we go. Core folks, answer this question about the thing. If you're a total newbie, there was a great course by a guy called Simon Allardyce, Introduction to Programming or something like that. It used to be on Lynda. Now it would be on LinkedIn Learning. Open for Profit says, hi, tell me about rewarded surveys for game monetization. Never use them, but would that be part of the rewarded ads for? Would that be part of the rewarded ads for Admob? Rocky Roy says best for beginner. Phil says 16-inch, just picked one up from refurbished Apple Store, and I love the computer. The 16-inch i9 2.3 gigahertz 8-core is with 1 terabyte is the best performance price I could find. Have it. Cool. I'm gonna have to do it. I am so sick of listening to this fan go, and I'm so sick of running out of disk space, and I'm so sick of waiting for my IDE to open. Let's see. Ayush says, which apps makes you the most Admob revenue currently? Currently, I think it is, right now, it is EarSpy on iOS. That's the big one at the moment. Let's see. And on on Android, I think it's Hebrew Bubble Bath. A says, what is your yearly total salary from app development, clients plus Admob revenue? That I'm not going to go into. That's I don't mind talking about the Admob stuff because it's something, but in order for me to talk about my total salary each year, I would have to divulge what people are paying me, how much I'm paid, and that just makes everything a bit complicated. But I appreciate the question, but I don't want to answer that. It's not in the millions. But I'm happy to talk about what the apps are doing because once I put those out there, that's all mine, right? But when we talk about if I talk about how much I pay other people or how much other people pay me, then there's another party involved that I have to think about, and it's I don't want to do that to somebody else, right? Without them knowing about it. Let's see. Do you like to use desktop or laptop for development? I use a laptop, but I'm constantly on my desk, so I rarely use it as a laptop. So I think next time I do it, I think I'm just go for desktop, right? I got the laptop thinking I'll just code when I'm on the couch. Dude, I cannot code on the couch. I cannot. I know there's all the shortcut keys and everything like that, and I know you might think I'm less of a man, but I still use a mouse. I use a mouse all the time, even though I know the shortcut keys when I was using ReSharper and in the JetBrains tools or whatever it is, and to be able to go through that and do things much quicker using shortcut keys. There are times where I just got to go to the mouse, and I'm tired and I hate this trackpad. Although having said that, on a MacBook, the trackpads, that's really good. They did a really good job on the hardware of that kind of stuff. But yeah, when I go, what I want next, rather than have a laptop, which is kind of I'm tethered to my desk anyway. I want to have what I really want, and I keep looking at Hackintoshes for this. I want a beast of a machine. I want something with 128 gigs of RAM that could just run anything. I want to have 5 different virtual machines going at the same time. I want to have I just want to have a beast. I want to be able to open up things and I want the computer to start before I even hit the power button. I want it to be that fast, like a second before I even hit the power button. Let's see. Matthew Creek says, how hard is it to make a stock market tracker? I don't know. You would have the APIs for it. I guess it'd be how long would you need to keep that data? Oh, in Flutter. Shouldn't be that hard, should it? It must be. That's one of the examples you see all the time. I don't even know what APIs are out there, but it shouldn't be that. Shouldn't be that bad. App 404 says, hello from the USA. I've been there. Hello, how's it going? Love your apps. Thank you very much. USA. Say. That's it. Let's get all. Rocky Roy says, Google account also got suspended. Just started learning and uploaded one app. Reason for termination: violation of the deceptive behavior policy. It was your first violation. I think I would try to appeal it. Right? Just say, I've read the rule. I read the rules now. I'm happy to remove that application. Whatever. And I'm not saying you're gonna get it back, but the difference between, you could either do it or not do it. If you don't get it reinstated, the result is still the same, right? You might as well make that call to appeal it. We don't allow apps that attempt to deceive users to enable dishonest behavior. Yeah, I got that a lot with the ear spy for a while, and so I kept changing the name, saying the whole. It was funny because I said we don't want an app that encourages dishonest behavior, and you're like, it doesn't. It just increases hearing, and it has the word eavesdrop all over it, right? So it was sometimes it gets. Jim Bob says, hey, how's it going? The USA is going to trash right now. It's facing 2 major viruses that is killing people: coronavirus and racism. Oh, okay. Simon Summertime, hey, how's it going? Hello world. Hello, Simon. Steven. Have you thought about how in-game crypto rewards can be used across games, apps, and rewards so they can apply those points, coins, tokens in the game or other apps, games you choose? I haven't. I know we talked about that a few months ago, but that is, how many often, Simon, how often I I hear people say they want to have rewards within their app so that they actually like actual cash rewards. And my whole thing is I always go back to the fact that you have to think about what currency they're in, how you're going to actually get it to them. You can have like a bank transfer fee that is more expensive than the money you're actually going to give them, right? And it sounds easy to actually have an actual cash prize, but then there's so much logistics that, that would make things difficult. So that would be ideal for that, actually. You should look into that. You probably are already. Let's see. Ada Max says, Matthew Crick, I did start with a low bid. Part of the reason that is because Google can play loose and fast with monetary settings. Daily limit will 2 times that for you. Yeah, the daily limit is like adjusted over the course of an entire month, which is completely like if you've ever taken out an ad, you say, okay, my limit is $5, right? Or £5, right? And then that first day it's like 15. You're like, whoa. And then you read it says, actually it's spread over a month term. So it's like, yeah, but you called it a daily limit. So let's see. Cord Funk says, definitely keeping everything up, but I'm not sure about keeping the news app myself. The new apps myself. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Phil says, Cord Funk, I don't think we'll ever be able to move out of the app market because the SPAs and websites are still pretty terrible experiences on mobile. I plan to always have an app companion to my web. And this is one of those things where like Ionic and stuff comes in handy, where you can do the one bit of code for both of them. Okay, so I'm gonna how much we're gonna have to wrap things up here pretty quickly. But Ayush says, how are the clone knockoff EarSpy apps not being suspended? But they are suspended yours, which was the original. I know. Should we? Well, I'm tempted to have a look now, but I kind of stopped looking at them because they were able to just say, oh, that's working, and create something exactly the same, which looks the same, acts the same, everything's the same, and then But what can we do? Bizwajit says, hey Eric, hey, how's it going, Bizwajit? Dude, I like your avatar with the B on it. All right. See, Matthew says, how do you respond with a bad review that doesn't make any grammatical sense? I'm sorry you didn't like it. I'm sorry you didn't like it. 'Cause sometimes it just doesn't make it. It doesn't make any sense. You're basically just saying, I'm sorry you didn't like it. We're improving it all the time. Please check back. Right? That's if they say like, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Let's see. Rocky Roy says, my Google account got suspended. Can I still use Admob account or should I not use it? Normally, when my account gets suspended, all of my Admob, I get emails from all the Admob saying that they've been removed too. Cost per click, CPC. Open for Profit says, salary of a 3D artist in a game development in the UK. I don't know. I would have a look at the jobs websites to get an idea for that because I'm not really sure what it is. Fist 007, hey Eric, how everyone? I've been missing the live streams for 2 weeks now, he says. I wonder where you were. Were you over on the other live stream? Which is fine. Simon's over there. Hey, how's it going? Thanks, Steven. What is the theme of the day? The theme of the day is hot dogs because that's what I'm going to have. No, it's pizza. It's going to be oven pizzas today. That's the theme of the day because that's where my conversation is going to start to go here very soon. Let's see. Phil says, web is coming along, but there are performance issues. We wanted to put some audio stuff, but probably need to try to make use of the WebAssembly. Web audio API is slow. Let's see. I have not done it. Any suggestions on how to do it correctly? Are we talking about PWAs? Great video so far. Appley says, thank you. Great. Yep, no problem. Thanks, Appley. A Guitar Blast game for guitars. Hey, how's it going, Guitar Blast? Let's see. And then we got. Can you check Guitar Blast on iOS, please? Let's have a look. Now I'm on my. Let's see. I don't have my iPhone plugged into the actual screen at the moment. We'll have a look at the Play Store. Oh, sorry, the App Store. Oh, it looks really good. Yeah, Guitar Blast. You've got like loads of, let's just share my screen here. You've got loads of videos on YouTube, which is great. Yeah, and I love that icon. It looks like you've put a lot of work into this. Wow, it looks really nice. Guitar Blast Play. So you got 13 ratings. For some reason, my computer is starting to freeze up. It's starting to say, oh, so my computer's freezing up now. I think this looks really cool, Guitar Blast. Oh, you got, let's see, you got, really nicely done. I think this looks really cool. You got, what, you got 13 reviews. You got the keywords, fretboard trainer in your first sentence. Yeah, it looks cool. See, Programming Journey says, hey, Eric, yo, Eric. Hello, Eric. I think your camera is not in focus on your face. Is it not? I think it's because I got that window behind me. You guys don't want to see my face anyway. Come on, man. I'm just like, I probably got barbecue sauce on my face or something like that. Shopping List Guy, that's an incredible name. Shopping List App Guy. Let's see. Manik Achara says, can we do app development from Python? Please reply. Yeah, I've heard that you can, but I don't even know what framework it is. But I mean, because in the past I said, I don't think you can, and other people have, but I don't know what kind of framework there is. Byron Lovelace, hey Byron, how's it going? Byron Lovelace is the one who calls me out anytime I phone in a video. Like I've done it like before. You're always the one who points it out. If the UK government had approached you, Overpass, to build a COVID-19 contact tracing app, would you have accepted the project? How would you handle a large, high-profile project with a tight deadline? Dude, I thought about this. Like, would I have actually taken it on? First of all, I don't have the size to do that kind of stuff. But it would be like, there's going to be problems with it, right? I'm sure there's going to be, because I think they're having delays or something. I mean, you're dealing, if you've ever done a project for a government organization, you know how, I mean, everybody's going to be panicked. Everybody's going to want the thing out as soon as possible. Yet at the same time, they want to have 8 meetings a day to discuss the progress of it. Right, it would be the most difficult project to do, and I know it's the NHSX going through it. But when that kind of stuff happens, to be honest with you, I wouldn't want to touch it. I mean, I'm sure they're paid really well. I'm sure it's very lucrative. I'm sure they're gonna go down as having saved the day and everything like that. But God, I don't. When you do work with very large companies like that, where it's the constant. Yeah, I mean, it just, to me, it sounds like it would be just a real pain to work on. Lang says that probably the UI would become 10 times prettier. Yari says, love the video. Hey, Yari, are you Mr. Secret? Or is that just a coincidence? Stop the thumbs down. Yeah, you guys, they thumbs up, everyone. Yeah, everyone, thank you for smashing the like button. As well. Yo, Eric, played anything with Dino? Looks freaking awesome. TS right out of the box. No, I haven't. I am, okay. Don't think worse of me, but I am not a TypeScript guy. I tried. I mean, I like using C#. I like strong typing in languages, but when it comes, I like just JavaScript. I like the, and when TypeScript seems like they're trying to push something on me that doesn't belong there, and then you have to transpile it into the JavaScript that you can't read, and that's just one of those things. But Jim Bob says, everyone send likes, not dislikes. Why so many dislikes? I don't know. But I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Techway Koo says, hey, Eric, I have one app for money management. The app is only store the data in devices database. They could back up the Dropbox or Google Drive, and more user requires cloud sync. Okay. I lost so much users due to lack of this functionality. Cool. I would make sure you have your privacy policy all updated for that too. And I don't know what that would mean. MD says, I've seen apps adding ads when you press back button to exit the app. What do you think about that? I think that sucks. I think that's I think it's just dishonest. I mean, well, they do whatever they have to do. Mouse is for little girls. MD, come on, man. All right, guilty. I've been a software developer for 23 years, and I still need the mouse. I need the mouse. Rispa Chope says, we kind of get the window, the light coming through the window. Best alternative for Admob, which is really pays. I've heard such good things about Facebook, but when I use Facebook, I didn't get that much from it. But I was using it through the Admob mediation, so that's something to think about. It used to be App 11, but App 11 kind of sucks now. Manic says, "What would you tell a beginner What would you want to tell a beginner self-taught programmer?" Mainly is, just you learn more from playing around with the code or actually doing a project than you do from reading about it, right? You get stuck into something, and there's many times, and don't beat yourself up about starting a project and not finishing it. I mean, unless you're being paid for it, that's different. But a lot of times we start projects and we just, we move on to something else, but you still get the knowledge from actually doing it. So, don't be one of those people who only works on stuff that you're paid for, right? Because it's, you need to, like we said earlier this week, you got to put the reps in. Rizba Chapad says, I had tried InMobi, but the ads, it didn't work so well. I tried InMobi years ago, and I haven't used it since. I just wasn't getting any revenue from it. How to prevent my Play Store account to be disabled? I wish I knew the answer to that. I just say try to keep your nose clean. Don't break the rules. Put out boring, safe applications. Don't do that, but there's certain things that, like, when somebody says their Play Store account has been disabled, and you think, well, why? When you ask why, if it's like copyright thing, copyright something is easy to stay away from. Like, don't use any images that are not your own, and if in doubt, go somewhere else to get them. That way you have some sort of traceability if you do it. If it's copyright, if it's self-clicking, then that's a tough one, right? A lot of times you get it back because it's nothing major, but if you're paying for reviews or something like that, then it's difficult. All that kind of stuff is easy to not do. Well, the things that scare me are the things that you just do, and they're just they might be a little bit on the questionable side, but they're not bad, and that's the ones that kind of scare me. Shivam says, how to market our app. Shivam Chaudhary says, how to market our app and which app is booming in the current market. It depends on what your app, this is a really difficult question. It depends on what your app is, and you can check to see what's on the top of the charts just by going to the Play Store. Nah, Bo, this channel sucks. Leave. Thanks, Brandon Counter. Appreciate it. June De Leon says, I think the best approach for apps is to create a revenue through some course from YouTuber or Instagrammer influencer instead of Admob. Yeah, you know what? I think people are starting to get tired of those courses. But brand account, just kidding, love it, dude, man, you make me sweat. Brand account, all right, that's it, dude. I like you, brand account, all right. Oh, Hawk's here. Hey, how's it going? Mr. Secret says, which program should I learn for making a nice application icon? Now I use Paint, but I want to become professional. There's lots of things you could use. You could use like Canva, right? You could probably use Canva to do it, which is, you could do a free version of that and just have different stuff. I mean, there's lots of different ones out there. You just need something with, ideally something with layers. And if you're going to draw it yourself, you need something you can draw well with. Hi, hey, how's it going? Photoshop. Oh yeah, Tech Way Koo says Photoshop and Illustrator. Yeah, if those are too expensive, then some cheaper alternatives are Affinity Photo and Affinity Illustrator. Let's see. Any tips for launch? My app is launching in 6 days. Let's see. What can you? If your app was launching in 6 days, make sure everything is up and running. I would start putting stuff on social media to get stuff in there. I mean, it's something that I haven't done a lot of. I have not done a lot of pre-launch stuff, but I've seen other people do it where they set up the MailChimp list and the sign-up page and go on social media and get people, try to get some excitement about it and everything. But it's not something I've actually done. Pavel Bachala says, what happened mid-April with Google Play app ranking algorithm? I don't know. I haven't really. I don't know. So I haven't noticed a difference myself. I love your channel. You have great content. Thank you very much. Sheepdog says, how do you say an emoji? Let's see. Google Play Console has been terminated. How can I restore it? Appeal it. I mean, yeah, definitely appeal it. And don't go in appealing, saying they're wrong. Saying go in hat in hand, saying. I'm not exactly sure why this was done. The assumption is that it was the algorithm that did it. Because it could be what it was. It could be an algorithm just did something, right? And it could be. It's kind of like, I think about it like going to prison, right? If you go to prison and they say, "What are you in prison for?" and you're like, "Murder," right? It's like, well, whoa, right? Maybe you can appeal, right? But if you say like, "Oh, it was something dumb that I did," whatever, then maybe you get a bit of leniency. And guess what, you want to, kind of lean on that side, right? But if it is something like, if they terminated it for like a really bad reason, then there's not much to do. Let's see. Chris Bala says, joining late, missed the last 2 weeks and going through withdrawal. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. It's getting warm in here. Whew. My. It is getting hot today. Fistobo says, it looks like your laptop could use some cleaning and thermal paste replacement. Yeah, well, it's a Mac. I can't do the thermal paste replacement, but I can do the cleaning. Yeah. WTF is Dino. I keep seeing it all over YouTube. Dino. What is Dino? Has anybody heard of Maui as a replacement for Xamarin Forms? Just, if I want to get nerd out with the stuff that I've been looking into now. Dino is a simple, modern, secure runtime for JavaScript and TypeScript that use built-in Rust. Is Dino the one? Is that the one that's like a Node.js kind of replacement? Oh yeah, it looks a bit like that. Because I think I've seen I've seen a thing about the one that's a lot of stuff on YouTube about the thing that's going to replace Node, but I forgot what the name of it was. Not a TypeScript guy? How dare you? How dare you? You know what? I like old school JavaScript. John, hey John, how's it going? John's here. Hey everyone, I'll smash the like button. Thank you very much. Coreyfolk says, I like TypeScript because you get so much help about how things are structured from the IDE. Not when using TypeScript. You have to look up all the API docs all the time. Yeah, I know. I mean, that's using, so at the moment, I'm doing the Xamarin stuff, and that's using C#, and you do get all the tooltips and everything, and I kind of forgot what that was like. I mean, I use WebStorm, and they try to do a lot of the code completion and everything, which is pretty cool, but not nearly as cool as it would be with a typed framework. I see questions about alternatives to Admob. Try Facebook and also Apple. Yeah, John's the one who's been telling me a lot about Facebook, actually. So, Samsul Karim says, so sorry to bother you. Dude, that's what we're here for. We're hanging a live stream. This is if there's ever time to bother me, it's now. Got got terminated because of trademark issues. I resolved the issues with the trademark owner. However, my account is still not being reinstated. Any advice? I would go back to take those trademark issues with the trademark owner and then appeal the suspension. I mean, that's all you have to do. And if they don't answer it, say what. And here's something to do, because you don't have a lot of space on those forms. Do a Google Doc and make it available to not publicly, but where you do anybody with this link can see this document. That way you could put those things in there. So we were doing stuff where we had to get copycats removed early on, when it was we actually had a fighting chance, right? And what I would say is this app is too similar to mine, and nothing would happen, so we denied your appeal. So then what we started doing was doing a side-by-side comparison with Google Docs. We would Google Docs a screenshot from my Play Store page, their Play Store's page, arrows pointing to the text there and there. So you could do a Google Doc, and then that way, even though you don't have all those, you don't have a way to upload files and everything, you can include a link to the Google Doc in the description saying I have full trademark things, and try to do it that way. That's what I would do. I mean, because ultimately, if you're not doing anything wrong, then your problem is not that they won't reinstate it. The problem is you can't get somebody to review it properly, and then let's see. Fahad Hassan says, please create a complete course on ASO. It's maybe there's other ASO courses out there. I know. Okay, Phil, to your vegetarian reader, stop reading here. Steak and beers night, Eric. IPAs for days. So actually tonight, so the company that I'm contracting with, they did this a few weeks ago where they have a pub quiz, and we're just gonna. It's like 8:00 tonight. So I'm gonna have nasty oven pizza. I mean, the nastier the better. Oh God, you know what? The kind that just drips, and the grease dripping down your chin, and the stuffed crust, which is stuffed not with cheese but some sort of it's like Chicago town, whatever. Right? This is how bad the pandemic is getting. I'm starting to look forward to the oven pizzas, right? But steak and beer would be much. Well, one day we'll all go back to the way things are, unless we don't. Is there any problem with having two Play Store and two Admob accounts open at the same laptop? I don't think there would be. I can't. You'd probably have to use different browsers. So, let's see. Is your business greatly affected by the Hawk says by the COVID repercussions? It was. I mean, everything just slowed down, right? There was no new leads or anything coming in. But lately, things have been picking up. Like I've got quite a few quotes to work on at the moment. So I think it's just like this is the new I hate to say it's a new normal, but it's kind of like things that people are just like, okay, if this is the way it's going to be, let's just start doing it. It was the same with Brexit. Like right before Brexit was supposed to happen last year, like it was in March of last year, like all business stopped, right? Nothing was it maybe in 2018. But anyway, like all business stopped. Like there was no new, I think it was 2018. No new leads were coming in or whatever. Everything just went dead quiet. And then eventually things started to grow again because it just went on so long that it was just like, well, like if you knew that everything could change 2 weeks from now, you might not, you might just say, well, we're just going to hold off making any decisions. But if they say it could be 2 weeks from now or 6 months from now or a year from now, then it's like, well, we might as well move forward. So it is kind of a little bit, but not so bad. Take note, invert the syllables, and you got Dino. Oh, actually, Dino is not. Actually, it would be Enod. Best tool to find keywords. There's a lot of different opinions on that. I think a lot of people say Sensor Tower. Lots of different ones you can look at. Let's see. And Manek says, love from Nepal. Nepal, that's awesome. Cool. And then Samsul says, thanks for the response. Have a lovely day. You guys too. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Have a great week ahead. I'll probably put some Overpass Insights videos out later this week. And I hope you guys stay healthy and stay safe. And thanks for joining the live stream. Thanks for all the thumbs ups and a few thumbs downs. I'll talk to you guys again next week. All right. Have a good weekend.
Winterland, tell me all your trees, you're